It is Thursday, January 22nd, 2015. Welcome, everyone, to episode 20 of the OG Cast, your clan podcast for the original Guardians. And yes, we are celebrating the 20 milestone here, so thanks to everyone who's continuing to listen, and we do it for, for you guys. Let's get to the panel this week. First off, we got Keith. How you doing this week?
Pretty good, pretty good. Not doing too bad. Pretty exciting week.
Excellent, excellent. Next up, we've got Franz. How's it going?
Pretty good. I got my Galahorn finally this week, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, you and me both here.
Yeah. That and checking out the hard mode raid.
Oh yeah, well, we're going to get to that in depth here in a little bit here, because it's, well, let's just say hard mode is hard.
For us, at least.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I guess okay, well, we'll get to that in a bit here. Last but not least, making his triumphant return to the cast once again, we got Tyler. Welcome back, buddy.
How's it going, guys? It's good to be back. It's been a little bit of a month hiatus with the holidays and everything, but glad to be here and hopefully have some fun conversations going on tonight.
Oh, that's definitely what we strive for. So let's get into it here, and let's start off with a little bit of off-topic stuff to begin with here, because some interesting articles came up here I just want to quickly touch on here. First off, let's start off with this one. Video games, I guess, in the past have always been sort of a cut and dry package deal, let's just say. And I read an article this past over the weekend that sort of started to describe games as more of a service. And that's kind of how a lot of these MMO type games have gone over the last few years with Warcraft and more recently with League of Legends. And I think you can kind of include like Destiny, perhaps even Call of Duty with like the DLC drops and all that. And it just kind of struck me as sort of interesting. Like, do you guys have any thoughts on that, or have you noticed this in the past, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's an interesting trend, and I think that it's fairly obvious to see why it happens. I mean, in the past, what would happen? You would spend a lot of money to develop a game, and then you would get a huge chunk of that back on the sale, but then that would trickle off, and the game would reach its end of life, and everybody would move on. But it seems like the trend now is to kind of make it more as an ongoing product that gets continuous support, so it's like constantly generating revenue. And we saw it a few times with expansion packs in the past and everything like that. But I think that the amount in which we're seeing it is just above and beyond what it ever has been.
I think the takeoff of multiplayer really started it with adding map packs, and it just kind of grew from there.
Yeah, I mean, I think a large part of it is also the digital age. Before you couldn't have huge downloads and everything like that, so it was very different. So with being able to just simply stream content, advertise content within the games and everything, it's made content distribution a lot easier, and it makes that impulse buy from consumers a lot more prevalent.
Yeah, I agree. The digital age had a huge bit to do with it. I mean, if you look back at the old way they did games, you look at like the original, like the PlayStation 2s and just the first Xboxes and stuff. There was no way for them to really. They didn't have the capacity to download and go into the further map pack and stuff. That was more reserved for the PC gamers. But with the new consoles and the hard drives and stuff they've got on them anymore, it's a lot easier for them to look and expanding the games further and further.
I'm glad you brought that up, because on the flip side, the definite negative aspect of this, and what we're seeing this far more all the time, is that these games are being shipped out, and they require a day one update. And so in the end, a lot of these people are shipping out games that, in essence, aren't ready when they ship, and that has led to some issues. Obviously, like the Master Chief Collection, Assassin's Creed Unity. There's been a whole list of games that have really sort of had sort of flub launches in the last 6 months, a year, and it's like the developers, they have the opportunity to, so it seems like they can't, or they have more of an ability to put out a game that's not quite ready. Whereas in the past, when Super Mario came out, on the cartridge, if it didn't work, that just couldn't be. Whereas now, oh, it's okay, we can patch that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's in terms, like, you have the increased complexity of games, and I think there's a lot of contributing factors to that. But I definitely think that the big piece of that is the fact that it is easier for publishers to just push things out the door, because it is something that they know that they can just patch later.
It's a huge thing, and it's released, or it's led more to a lot more earlier released games, and you see more things, like you see it so much more, and it's great that they can patch things, because I know there's games in the past that I've bought and I've played, and I wish that I could have patched on like the older systems.
Yeah.
But now it's great that they can go back in and fix that stuff.
Yeah, I remember playing games on the PC where you would actually, if there was a patch available, you'd have to like snail mail write the developers asking for an update, and they would actually mail it to you.
The good old days.
Yeah, it's very very different times for sure.
I think that wasn't even all that long ago either.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, so we're definitely progressing, but I think it shows the kind of the double-edged sword of it. That it's good, that things can be fixed on the fly just like that, but it's also bad. It seems that doesn't seem to be that the big push to get the final product 100% right off the bat either. It seems so. But
Nintendo, I think, is the exception. They still push out quality right from the start, like it's the old days.
They've never really changed their model though from day one. Like they've always pushed out quality stuff, and they've always pushed out ready to go products. And I've never felt like Nintendo's products have ever been lag or like had issues that I've ran into like mid playing the game.
It's something to say that they're losing the console wars, or their bottom line's not doing too well because of it. I don't know if it's because of that, but it's...
No, I mean, it's a whole other issue why that's happening. But I mean, it's sad, and I think that the handheld market is where it's at for Nintendo. I mean, that's
absolutely.
That's where they've been focusing, and I imagine it's going to continue to be that way.
Yeah, they just released or announced a new Game Boy or something this past week or something, didn't they? Or a new 3DS or something like that? Or
yeah, I have the 3DS and it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't hear about any announcements, but I really haven't been paying that much attention to Nintendo stuff, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you're definitely part of the majority there, because I think a lot of people, at least in I guess quote unquote more hardcore gaming circles, Nintendo isn't even on the radar, just for the lack of resolution on the console and all those sorts of features. The Wii U is behind the PS4 and the Xbox One by a considerable margin, technology-wise.
Yeah, I mean,
so though.
What?
I said intentionally so. It was intentional that they're not going for the state-of-the-art graphics and whatnot. They're going for more of their fun games and
I think that worked for the Wii.
a cheaper system that more people can afford, and
I mean,
Well, that-
we was able to be marketed to non-gamers. I mean, that's how we was extremely successful. You know, you'd walk into a retirement home and you'd find a Wii, because you'd find old people bowling. Like, it's just it was marketed. You know, it sold to non-gamers, and I think that was a huge part of the Wii's success. And the Wii U is just simply not that case. You know, it comes with a tablet as a controller, and that's you're not going to sell that kind of console to a non-gamer.
Yeah, I could see that. They run into that, but I feel like at the same time they've had their select audience that they've always targeted, and they haven't really gone away from what they do, and they've got those same games. And I mean, like, let's be honest, everyone loves Mario Kart, everyone loves Super Smash Brothers, and they're gonna keep. I mean, they're gonna keep chugging those out, putting them out, and people are gonna keep buying the system to play them.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's it. I mean, their franchises are what is really driving sales. You know, if they started releasing Mario or Super Smash Brothers on other consoles, then nobody would have a Wii, because it's their first party support is why the console sells.
I would agree with that to an extent.
Which, I mean, you have to think how much money they're leaving on the table. Can you imagine if they brought like Pokemon? Like, you wouldn't be able to print enough money for them to make. They would take all the money in the world if they did that. And I don't know. It's just it's obviously they know that sells the Nintendo DSs. So
yeah, I think that eventually they're moving towards that strategy where they become more of a software company and it's the hardware.
I don't think so.
You know, I don't know.
They announced this week that they are going to be coming out with a new console sometime. Yeah. They're not scrapping plans for a new console yet, so they're not going that way.
Hey, as long as they keep that DS around them, I'm happy.
Yeah, I mean, they just play by a completely different set of rules as the other consoles, and I mean, that's fine. I mean, they don't fall in line, just like at E3. They don't have a huge E3 presence. They do their own thing. So I mean, it's just, I don't know. Nintendo just does things differently, and they always have.
Yeah. Well, it has worked for them in the past. So you got to give them that.
Yeah.
And, moving forward, I guess is going to be the real question for them, because Wii U did not perform to the same standard that we did, and I think if they're going to go for that non-gamer market, they need something revolutionary again. Because I think the Wii, as fun as the Wii was, it's not a lasting thing in my opinion. Like, I had a Wii, I got rid of my Wii because in the end the nostalgia or the excitement or the hype kind of died out on it, and just.
Well, I mean, it's a game it's a console that focused on motion control, and that's very gimmicky. And I think that that the hardcore gamers, the people that really enjoy the complexity of video games, really that wears thin really quickly, just because you can't have a whole lot of depth with motion controls.
Yep,
that's true.
I enjoy. I mean, like, I still have my PlayStation 3, and I have the PlayStation Move, and really, I mean, everything that I felt like I ever got out of the Wii and that I wanted from the Wii, still having the PlayStation Move and just the sports package, but I still had all of my actual console capabilities.
Yeah.
Which is surprising though too, because the Move didn't really perform that well either, and for that matter, neither did the Kinect.
The Kinect hasn't performed well, and I mean, Microsoft doubled down on the Kinect, but I think that really the way that the Kinect is utilized in the Xbox One is it's very different than how they were marketing it for the 360. Because for the 360, they were marketing it as, hey, it's going to be great with games, but for the Xbox One, it's marketed as, hey, it will help you navigate the console. I mean, that's, I have a Kinect, but I don't really have any games for it. But it's amazing, and I would definitely not want to have an Xbox One without the Kinect.
Yeah, it's a great point. Yeah, definitely. It's part of the whole system that they want. So yeah, I'm not unplugging mine anytime soon. But yeah. All right, well, let's move on here. And keeping with, I guess, Xbox at the moment here, Microsoft had their big Windows 10 little preview show this week.
Mm-hmm.
And Windows 10 is, ultimately it's going to be coming to Xbox, in some shape or form or another. We didn't go into too much detail about how that is, but the Xbox One already runs a version of Windows 8. It's very stripped down, and it just uses it to, I think, navigate apps, I believe. But it is a part of the Xbox architecture already. But they did announce some neat features. You can basically capture, if you're playing like a PC game, you use basically Xbox, like this, I guess, the encompassing software to basically have a game DVR on your computer now, and basically a lot of these smart glass features are going to be baked right into new versions of Windows now as well, which is kind of interesting as well. So they're definitely putting a lot of emphasis on this.
I don't think they really made any surprises with that. I mean, I think that it was pretty clear that Windows 10 was coming to the Xbox. So, yeah, I don't really think there are any surprises, but it was definitely cool to see some of that integration.
Did they say how much it's going to cost for the PC?
What's going to cost?
Windows 10.
Oh, it's going to be free for pretty much everybody. As long as you have Windows 7 or Windows 8, you're going to get it for free.
Oh, I didn't know that. Nice.
For 1 year. After a year, you have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's what I was just...
Well, it's not like a year trial. You have 1 year to upgrade for free. If you don't upgrade within that year, then you have to pay for it.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure what they were getting at with that, so I just thought I didn't know.
They put the stipulation to kind of light the fire under the asses of companies, because I mean companies will drag their feet when it comes to upgrading, and just because there's a lot of testing that has to go in place, and in terms of you have to test the software, all the software that you run as a company, you have to test on the new operating system, and that's obviously very time-consuming and expensive. So I'm sure that's why they put that year time frame on it.
Yeah, because Windows 8 adoption in enterprise wasn't as well or as good as they had hoped, and I bet there are a lot of people out there still running XP, even though it's no longer officially supported. So, but
yeah, XP. The only reason XP stayed around is because Vista was awful. Let's be honest. If Vista was even really remotely functional as well as XP was, XP wouldn't still be around.
Yeah, a lot of them did go to Windows 7. Windows 7 was actually a really good OS.
I have Windows 7. I love Windows 7.
Feels like every other one is good.
Yeah.
XP, great. Vista, horrible. 7, good. 8, horrible. Now 10. It's got to be good, right?
Yeah, gotta be.
I'll have to say I am in that minority that really likes Windows 8, but
I think we've been over this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think it's a Canada thing. I wouldn't worry about it.
And look, Windows Phone.
And you do have Trivia Crack now.
I do have Trivia Crack now. Yes, I found that today.
I'm gonna have to destroy you. I mean,
I have not downloaded that.
Oh, you're behind the times now, Keith. Everyone has it. Even I have it now.
I was playing that Quiz Up game, but I don't know. Trivia games just bore me. Bored with them pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, we'll see if this has any staying power. I haven't really played any. I got it to draw something back when it was big back in the day, and of course that lasted a little while, and of course, just everyone stopped playing it, so I'm going to stop playing it too. So, all right. Well, there's just one last thing I want to touch on here, and it's kind of an unfortunate thing. Do you guys know who Robert Bowling is?
No, I don't.
I do.
Okay. He was the creative strategist at Infinity Ward, and he was responsible for Modern Warfare 3 back in the day. Now, he left Infinity Ward not too long after the release of Modern Warfare 3 and to create his own indie studio. And they were going to make a game called Human Element. I'm sure you've probably heard of that. or not.
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
gonna be
think
on
so.
the ladder.
Okay. Anyways, I've been kind of following him for since Modern Warfare 3 actually, and I continue to follow him through his departure and all that, and it was because it really, I had really good respect for the man for leaving Call of Duty to go his own way, and I kind of admire the cojones on a guy like that to leave the most profitable franchise out there to blaze his own trail.
Oh.
And they had started development on Non-Human Element. It was supposed to be out this fall or this winter, I believe. They've released a few other little mobile games as well, but unfortunately, they announced just this week that the studio is on hiatus until they can secure publishing, or I guess get a publisher to publish the game for them. Which is it's kind of struck me. It's kind of sad, that even people with potentially good ideas. Now they did have a gameplay trailer that released at the Video Game Awards late last year, and to be honest, it didn't really wow me in any sense. But I still kind of feel bad, for them to be that far in and to kind of have to put everything on hold. So just kind of more of just a kind of a sad commentary on the fact that the little guy, I guess, can't always compete in this business. And if you look at a studio as big as Bungie, they had to go to Activision to publish Destiny.
Yeah.
And that's so if the big guys have to get help, what hope is there for the little guys without having to attach on to somebody? But that's just something I just kind of stumbled across this week that just kind of thought I'd bring up here. All right, well, let's get into the meat and potatoes here then. Obviously, hard mode came out this week. Franz and I were in it deep last night. 3 hours later.
We're at Crota.
We've got to Crota. And after much toil and heartache and a glitch here or there, but we got to Crota.
Nice.
Hard rate is hard. There's a lot of yellow guys in there that shoot till you have no bullets and they don't die.
I was in a group and we couldn't even get past the thrall at the beginning. It was brutal.
Oh, well, only Austin and the group got across the bridge there, so.
Yeah.
I'm not excited to try it at this point until I get better at it, let's be honest. I'm pretty terrible.
You have to be a 32 too, otherwise, no chance.
Yeah, everyone in our group was 31.
Oh.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah, that would be why.
Yeah. Well, we had one guy that was 32, but he wasn't doing too hot either.
It's tough.
Even all of us struggled through the abyss there, and those thrall just come at it. I got a clip saved to my game DVR there. Just Jeff just running with about 50 behind him, and he got stuck on a rock, and they all just swarmed him in insta death. So
yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a heck of a lot harder than the original normal mode.
Yeah, for sure.
But not for some people. What were you going to say, Franz?
Yeah, so I'd love to see how those people did it in, 27 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, whatever that stupid fast one was. God damn.
Yeah, apparently they did it without cheesing, which is, I don't know how the hell they did it.
That's pretty insane.
The top 5 teams did it in under 46 minutes.
Yeah. Dato's team did it in like 3 hours. So.
Yeah. So it's incredible, and I don't know what skill or if they had horseshoes wedged way up there or not, but they did it in under half an hour. So I guess hats off to them, and I guess all those teams that did it in under an hour, because we're 3 hours in and we're just at Crota. and that Crota fight is a little different.
Yeah.
We didn't get to do it too much last night, but it's different. It's harder.
Yeah, I did hear that the chalice is not available during that hard mode fight.
No, it's not.
That sounds
Oh
rough.
god, that's gonna make it awful.
You could get around it though. I mean, like Suros has a perk where if you kill a guy, it regenerates health. There's a couple exotics that will regenerate health with using orbs.
Yeah.
I was like, oh.
Yeah, I mean there are some abilities as well. Like I think Warlock has one where you can regenerate health.
Yeah, it was like a revelation when I realized, oh, I could put my bubble down and just have full health.
This was a few attempts in, mind you, too. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
You didn't have to mention that part.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
Hunter
well,
doesn't
it's,
have anything like that. At least not that I know of. So
Doesn't it have a
No,
knife
it's
one
not.
in your Blade Dancer class that'll regenerate health? No.
I
like
don't think so.
there's something in there. There's one of the classes has something where like if you kill something, it gives you a little bit of health back, like a certain way, but I don't remember which one it is. Or maybe it's when you go to Blade Dancer and you think each Blade Dancer kill maybe can give you health or something weird like that. I don't play Blade Dancer enough to remember. I use Blade Dancer like on rare occasions in PvP, and that's about it.
Yeah, I switched to Blade Dancer for the first time myself last night to get through the Abyss, and it definitely has its uses, but I think it's more focused on invisibility more than regaining health. I think Sunsingers, the Warlocks, if they melee, they get a little bit they call a Flame Shield. That will kind of give you a little bit of immunity for a little bit.
The self-res, too. That'll
too, yeah. Yeah, but without spoiling too much for Crota, we're there, and it's going to take a little bit of tweaking to get through there. At least a little different than usual.
Tuesday to you got till Tuesday to kill Crota, then you got to start all over again.
Well, that's how we did for normal. We finished Monday night, Franz?
Yeah, we met more times, but we didn't get as far as we did, as quickly as we did.
Yeah,
it took a couple nights to get to Crota, I think, for us.
Yeah, and then we spent 2 nights on Crota. So we were at it for 4 nights total for normal, but that again was going in completely blind. And
I have faith we'll do it again. We'll do it next time.
Oh, guaranteed, yeah. Absolutely.
If not, don't put me in, Coach, because it's not going to help any.
And then we'll read up on how to do it in 27 minutes and get it done 3 times quick every week.
I think we have yet to break half an hour even on normal, so...
We got close, though, a couple times.
Yeah, I think we're averaging about 40 minutes, which I think is, good. But that kind of brings up another point. For a raid environment, do you guys think that, half an hour for hard, I think is insane. But even, like a 45-minute normal, do you think that's kind of what Bungie was going after for this? Do you think ultimately that?
I think they were expecting it to be longer. I mean, I know I was.
Yeah, I thought it was going to take, as a whole, I didn't think we'd be able to get it down quicker than what we could have done the vault. I thought they were going to try to make it take longer because people had it down. I mean, like I can run the vault if I get a good group in, 45 minutes. So, it's just 45 minutes to an hour, I think, is probably the quickest I've ran the vault. But, I mean, I know that they expected it, to take hours upon hours, and obviously it's not, so...
Yeah.
It's no Vault of Glass.
I personally like the Vault better. I think the Vault was more challenging and a lot more fun.
Yeah, and I think it also had more complex mechanics. I mean, that was also another piece of Crota. There really aren't any complicated mechanics for it. I mean, the most complicated thing is like the bridge, crossing that
Kind of,
bridge.
it kind of fits the Hive playstyle. I'll say that. Like Hive are more just in your face and brute force, and that's kind of what the raid is. It's just running and gunning the whole time, which will go
That was a
quicker
good point.
than.
Yeah. Well, it makes you wonder how the how House of Wolves is going to be then, because the Fallen, that's different again as well. So it's, and I think they have definitely nailed the different enemies having different sort of styles to them.
So,
I
so
feel
for
the
the next one, how are they going to do it? I mean, because isn't it, the next one's Fallen, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, did the Fallen even have a particular style per se?
They're kind of in the middle, no? I would think.
Yeah, I feel like they're like kind of between. I feel like the Vex were always the most organized out of the groups,
They're
and then
more.
obviously the Hive are the most like in your face, just like run at you and just going to do what they're going to do. But I feel like the Fallen were kind of in the middle.
Yeah. The Vex are more, when I think about like more hit you from a distance. The Hive are right up close, and then the Fallen, they have the thralls that get, or not the thralls, whatever, dregs that come right up at you, but yet they have the sniping vandals, so might be a little bit of both.
Yeah.
They're like a combo of the play styles.
That's a good point.
I hope it's more like the Vault than Crota, though.
I would hope so, because I think for me personally, I think the mechanic aspect is definitely different. Well, let's face it, it's non-existent in Crota, and so like there's definitely a lot more things that you had to be aware of at more times for Vault of Glass. Like the Templar fight is probably the most involved fight in the game still. Even Atheon, with the teams being teleported and all that, and then you get to obviously when you get to Crota, there are things that you need to do. You need certain people taking care of the boomers and focusing on Crota and Sword Bearer and all that kind of stuff. But in the end, it's all still much simpler than Vault of Glass was. But
Yeah, I felt like it was, and the Vault of Glass I think is fun because it's one. I mean, like it's one little puzzle challenge after another. I mean, like whereas when I've ran Crotas, like you guys said, I mean, there's nothing that's in depth. It's you run in, you shoot a bunch of crap, and you move on. Like there's no watch out for the oracles, or you need to hold these plates till this something happens. Like I mean, other than the one bridge part, I mean, to build a bridge, you don't have to hold any plates for anything.
No. I mean, there's some mechanics to it, right? Like the wizards drawing them out, hiding in the towers and sniping them, and then running in and killing the shriekers. But I don't know, it's different. It's different. Just not as hard, not as long.
Yeah.
And I don't know if part of that's because the vault's kind of artificially long with the jumping puzzle and the Gorgon maze.
Yeah, I mean, I think that those add a different kind of element to it. I don't know if I'd call it artificial, especially the Gorgon maze. Because I mean, you don't have to be fighting something for it to be a challenge.
No, that's true.
I liked those too. I liked those a lot. Like the aspect that those added to the vault. The fact I felt more like I was in the game when I played the vault. I guess like when you're going through stuff. You're trying to sneak through. You're trying to jump across stuff. It's more in depth. It really pulls you more into the game. The Crota's raid, I feel like you're just kind of like, oh well, it's just another shooter. Like I'm just gonna shoot stuff, and that's what bothers me about Crota's most.
Yeah, Vault of Glass in the end was exactly how they made it out to be. Right from the beginning of when we first got it, the first taste of of what was coming with the raids. And Crota is definitely different from that. But then again, I guess they didn't really tell us much of what to expect with Crota either. So
No, I'm curious. I'm intrigued to see what happens with the House of Wolves when it comes out, but I don't know what to expect there.
I don't know. It just stinks because the raid had to be done, or at least a good idea of what it was going to be at launch, so they couldn't react to anybody's feedback really in the 6 months they have to release that.
You mean to release the House of Wolves?
To release the House of Wolves, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's enough feedback, enough time to incorporate some feedback. I mean, 6 months is a good time to make tweaks in terms of gameplay elements, and I don't think, huge overhauls to like map design and stuff. I think that's something that's really more out of the question than changing some of the game mechanics.
Yeah.
Really,
Even with releasing another expansion in the middle, though.
You mean you're talking about Comet?
Yeah. No. Releasing another.
Oh.
So they're going. You had 3 months Crota and then 3 months House of Wolves.
I gotcha.
And it's not really a 6-month development cycle, but a 3.
Well, I don't know. See, I have a feeling that they have two teams. So they have one team working on Crota, and then that next one working on another one working like simultaneously on House of Wolves, and so the team that did Crota, now they jump onto another phase. So I don't think you're talking about a 3-month development cycle, because even after the 3-month period is over, you have this warranty period of adjusting things and fixing things. Like the same people that did Crota's End is also doing like the patches and fixing it and stuff like that. So you can't really. There's no way it's the same people that are doing that are also doing House of Wolves. It's got to be very fragmented.
I don't know if you guys remember from the Bungie documentary way back when, like back when Destiny was first announced. I believe it was about an hour-long thing, kind of run through their studio a bit, and then they said how they kind of set things up. That all the desks are on rollers pretty much, so people can be moved from here to there and back and around as they are needed. So I'm sure that's kind of how they do things, Keith. So, but
but I mean that still supports having like a fragmented team. So I mean, it's
exactly,
not like, it's not like everybody is on doing one DLC and then it's released, now everybody shift to this next one. So they're going to have teams that are overlapping and working on the two different projects simultaneously.
I guess my big question is, and I guess probably where Franz is coming from too, though, is, I mean, you had your Vex raid, in the Vault of Glass, and you had all your feedback on that, and I mean, you don't really have enough time from that to put that much feedback into Crota's End. I mean, 3 months, really. Not even. I mean, was it like? I guess it was probably closer to like 2 months till Crota's End came out.
Yeah. I mean, 3 months is definitely not a lot of time.
And I mean, so they didn't really have enough time to make those tweaks. But then, I mean, you get the feedback from your second raid, and then you only have 3 months till House of Wolves comes out, and that's from right when you drop it. So I mean, there's not a lot of time to make. I mean, like I think I could see if whatever comes after House of Wolves. I could see that being a very, really well done, raid, because they've had time to look at Crota's and look at, Vault of Glass both before they ever even start developing it, and take the feedback from those. Whereas I feel like House of Wolves probably already has a basic map design already built out, made out before they ever, dropped Crota.
Oh, absolutely.
Or even Vault of Glass for that matter.
Yeah, it's probably a safe bet that House of Wolves is, in its final stages right now, because they're supposed to be, releasing it in a month and a half or so.
Yep.
So it has to be, well on its way to being done. Now, if there is such a thing as Comet coming out in the fall, then that would give them a lot more time to maybe really look at what the community has said about the 3 previous raids and to tweak accordingly, but yeah. We shall see.
I mean, are they going to do a Cabal raid? Because that would be something that I would like to see.
Yeah, it seems like Cabal's just like the redheaded stepchild. We're not getting any
Exactly. I
love.
don't feel like they really haven't given a lot of love to the Cabal at all in the
Yeah.
game as a whole. And so it would be nice to see them kind of incorporate it more into things.
I
And
mean,
then
if that time,
oh, go ahead.
I was saying if that timeline that was leaked is true, which is doubtful, they don't actually have a Cabal raid until the very last expansion before Destiny 2.
Was that even supposed to be Cabal, though? Because we know so little about the Cabal because they're just... Well, basically, all the Cabal are just a speed bump on your way to the Black Card.
Yeah, because I think it said 2 Vex, 2 Cabal, 2 Hive, a Fallen, and a Cabal.
I haven't heard anything about the Cabal because
What was the timeline for Destiny 2 to be released? I'm sorry, I saw it, but I don't remember how long of this is over several years. I know, but
Well, yeah, I don't think that's ever been stated when Destiny 2 was going to come out.
No, it's all speculation on that timeline, but it was speculated that it would be 2 years after the original release.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, like September of next year.
Yeah, especially if they have Comic actually go through, it just makes sense. You have a large expansion to hold you over another year, and then you release Destiny 2.
Yeah, I mean, really, I hope House of Wolves does not increase the level cap. It's going to be very frustrating if it increases the level cap again.
I'm with you there.
Speaking of, Mike, did you think about my bet at all? I mean, I'm willing to take you up on that bet if you're willing to bet against me still. But
See, I don't know where to go with that. Yeah, because as much as I don't want them to raise the level cap, I think they're going to.
Yeah, I know. That's what I think too.
I think they're going to as well, and I think that's probably been the most frustrating part for me is because I would rather run the Vault to Glass because I enjoy that raid so much more. But even running the Vault to Glass on hard, I can't get the stuff I need to get to 32.
Yeah, they need to overhaul this system at some point here because this is just not working.
How would you
go?
What's that? Go ahead. No, I didn't want to cut you off. Continue.
Well, no, it's just you struggle through the vault to get the gear to get to 30, and then boom, you can just buy gear that's going to be better. And I think it was very short-sighted on their part. But we've gone into this in detail, so. Already.
How would you feel if they increased the level cap, but then made all 3 raids drop that level gear, so you can level up by doing any one of those raids?
I think it'd be pointless.
Why?
Because you're not solving anything.
Huh?
Yeah, you're not solving anything by increasing the level cap. You're just the entire thing is a carrot on a stick, but so all you're doing is just moving that carrot out every time you release content. Like it doesn't serve a function. That's because true. You're fighting higher level enemies, and then you're that same level. So it's just this constant treadmill.
Yep.
That isn't. It's unnecessary.
I would like to see them leave the level cap where it's at. And even if they left, I think it would be nice to leave, make the raids on easy, like on normal mode, maybe drop the level stuff to get to level 30 and maybe lower the levels there. But like, if you want to get to, the new level cap at 32, you got to do the raids on hard. And I think that would be a good way to go about it. But that's just my opinion. But still, I wouldn't move the level cap again from where it's at.
Yeah, I think if they're smart, I think they'll hold off at least until comment comes out to raise the level cap again, because they did burn a lot of people with raising it the last time, and I don't know if the community is going to stick with them again if they do it again.
Yeah,
because I read a review basically say that they're speculating that Bungie is raising the level cap because they're basically acknowledging that there's not enough to do in the game. So they're keep raising the level cap, so you have keeps having something to grind for.
it's not a
It just
it's not a good thing.
No, it's not.
No.
going for it. I mean, you make more content or something, at some point. But raising the level cap isn't. It's not solving anything. And I think that's part of the reason. Like I said, like I haven't been here for a while, but I haven't been on my PlayStation either. That's the one game I play on my PlayStation 4. I'm too cheap to go buy any other games currently. So the rest of them are all on my PlayStation 3, and I didn't. My thing is, I didn't play on PlayStation 4 for like a month because I was like, there's no point. Like, I've I worked my butt off. I got to 30, and now I'm just like, I buy this gear, get to 31 the next day. And it's like, oh, this was better than what I already had, but it doesn't affect me. And then all of my exotics, I have to like wait and buy to upgrade, and then have to go through everything with them again if they were fully upgraded. So like, there's so many faults with what they did, in my opinion. I've struggled with it a lot.
I agree with that. And actually, the worst thing about this, the gear, I can live with, upgrading again. But I think it's the weapons that is the real pain in the ass.
I agree.
Because they take a hell of a lot longer to upgrade than armor does.
Yeah.
And to have to go through all that grind, like hell, I put 20,000 XP on Gallarhorn this week, and it's still only at the first upgrade level. The damage, increase level. Like, it's insane. They're just their XP budget.
I have a fully upgraded Gallarhorn from before the DLC dropped, and like I think it came up for sale or whatever, so you could like upgrade it, and I couldn't get myself to do it because I didn't want to grind through it again. I was like, I'll just leave it at my 300 attack and call it a day because it's not worth my time.
Yeah, and that's how I feel. Like, I would look at all the exotic weapons I have in my stash that I would probably use in certain situations, but I just don't want to upgrade them again. I would go through the process of upgrading them one more time, but if in 2 months I'm going to have to do it all over again, I'll just wait for that.
Yeah.
What's the point? I don't mind increasing the level so much as increasing the damage on the guns and having to re-level that. Your light level that's okay with me.
I guess in the grand scheme of things, light level is not as big of a deal, but the weapons are a huge deal. Like,
yep.
Even if they patched it so all the weapons, if you already had a weapon that you had put in the time to fully upgrade, like, they could, it wouldn't, I don't feel like it would be that hard to patch so that those weapons automatically bumped up to wherever the max was.
Or just add one freaking bubble. I wouldn't mind one bubble to level up.
Yeah, very much. Just one bubble instead of just resetting everything. Yeah.
Yeah, alright. One bubble and like an exotic shard. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Instead of going through taking a week of playing a lot to level up one exotic gun.
Yeah. Well, we're not alone in these sentiments. The community, did revolt a little bit. I don't know how many people they lost over it, but maybe not that many.
Hopefully they change it. They change their strategy with the next time they increase the level cap, whichever it is, and hopefully they take that that community response into account.
They just need to respect our time. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because, if we spent the time to upgrade these things, we obviously wanted it, and to basically just smack us in the face and say, too bad, do it again.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it is. Give us something for our time.
I agree with that statement, and for me, if it happens again with the weapons and stuff, I probably won't buy the following, DLC. I'll still play the game, but I'm not going to buy the DLC just so I can grind through and do some more pointless stuff that I don't need to, like, I enjoy the extra missions and I enjoy everything, but if I have to completely redo all my guns again, just so I can defeat the new enemies that are the same enemies I've been fighting since forever ago.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point?
For sure. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Well, time will tell, as always. Just tell us something, Bungie, please.
Yeah.
I think we beat that dead horse enough.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's go quickly back to Crota's End here, because the update came out tonight. Basically, Bungie's kind of calling this their most successful raid ever, because over 555,000 people went in into Crota in the first 24 hours. So that's the teams, or the raid had been launched that many times.
Oh wow.
So that's they say that works out to 3.3 million Guardians. They say.
Okay, but hold on, time out for a second. You say in the first 24 hours, or since it dropped? Okay.
In the first 24 hours.
Because I was like, how quickly did they figure out where that first chest was, and individuals started going in and getting that first chest, and how does that factor into their number?
No, that's just hard mode.
Okay.
Those are numbers just from hard mode. So from Tuesday 10 a.m. to Wednesday 10 a.m., 557,000 raids were launched.
Yep.
That's
impressive.
So,
yeah.
A bunch of people are still playing this game.
Yes. They are.
Which is a little concerning when we want them to listen about the guns and whatnot, but
yeah, so
all right, not going down that road again.
Yeah, they've obviously got us. Yeah. Anyways, in the update, they have the top 5 teams and their stats for their completions and all that. And they even have a couple videos posted. So if you're wanting to see how the first 2 teams did it, you can check those out. One thing that is new is they are releasing a new multiplayer game mode called Doubles Skirmish. So basically this is going to be a 2v2 team deathmatch.
That's
It's
not exciting.
not a new game.
That's not exciting. No.
Not a new game mode.
Where's Capture the Flag? Where's? I mean, they're just. I don't get it. They have so many things to draw from the past. I don't understand why everything is just deathmatch. I don't get it. I'm definitely not excited.
Okay. Well, it is sort of new in a way, but yeah, I guess I hear what you're saying for sure. Beyond that, I think that's pretty much it for Destiny this week. Obviously, yeah, hard mode being their big pride and joy here, but yeah, definitely all over the place with the completions. So, but that's Destiny, as they say. I guess let's swing over to Halo real quick, too, because I noticed there's a big update coming for the Master Chief Collection.
Yes.
And basically, they are going to be beta testing this update. What do you guys think of that?
I think that it's a I don't know. I mean, if it's so big that they have to beta test it, then it's obviously good news. Something I was reading was theoretical. Somebody on Reddit talking about why Master Chief might have been such a mess, and it might be due to the new matchmaking and party system that Microsoft was creating for Xbox, and Master Chief Collection might have been that guinea pig as part of that process, and that might have been causing the problems. Because I mean, as the shit hit the fan, they said that they had Xbox Live engineers working on the issue, so it obviously wasn't something that was just related to 343. It was something that some sort of function that they were utilizing from the Xbox Live services in general. So it seems that it might have been a little bit bigger than just 343. But if it's something where if it's a new set of APIs that they're utilizing for this update, then this could be the fix. I don't know. I mean, I hate to say that, but it might be true. And if that is the case, if it is so big that it's just a complete revamp of their entire matchmaking code base, then it makes sense for a beta to take place.
That's a good point.
Is the old Master Chief Collection going to be running while the beta is going on, or is it just... Yeah.
So what's going to happen is basically if you're in the preview program, then for the preview program for Xbox in general, nothing not the Halo one. You can opt in to be part of this beta. So not everybody that's in the preview program is going to get it. You have to opt in for it. And if you do opt in for it, then you are going to get the update to your existing Master Chief Collection install. And your matchmaking will only be with people that also have that beta. So you won't be able to. So if you're in the preview program and you opt in, you're not going to be able to play with your friends. Not like you could anyway. So you're not going to be able to play with your friends that are not in the beta.
Oh, the irony.
So no loss. Basically no loss. If you want, if you're in the preview program, just go get in the beta.
So get your friends in the preview program.
And hope it works.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you get a broken game. Well, I guess it is already sort of broken anyway, but more broken. Yeah, it just kind of struck me as a little odd. Like updates and beta, you don't really hear those words in the same sentence too often. So
no, it's more common with MMOs. I mean, you see it in MMOs all the time where you have a test server that people can jump on, and so I mean it's happened before. It's not like it's crazy, but
those are usually for content patches, not just bug fixes.
Yeah. I mean, it's usually for both. When they have large updates. I mean, a lot of the MMOs will have persistent test servers, so there are test servers you can log in and you can play only on the test server, and every single patch comes out first to the test server before it goes to the other servers. So it's more of a persistent thing. So I mean, this kind of thing has happened before, but it's definitely not common, especially on consoles. But yeah, I mean, what?
You know when the update's coming out?
Yeah, today when people are listening to this, then that's when it's going to happen. So we're recording on the 22nd, but it happens on the 23rd. That's when people can start downloading.
Okay. Well, if you're in the preview program and want to be 343's guinea pig, you know what to do.
Yeah.
Good luck to you. Are either you guys in the preview program?
No, I'm not. I use the Xbox in my family room TV, so I wouldn't want to subject my wife to a buggy preview of the operating system changes and everything like that. But if that weren't the case, then I probably would.
Yeah, well, let's see what happens. I'm sure we'll hear a lot of feedback right off the bat. So, but,
yeah, I mean, I imagine that there'll be news right away on Reddit how it's doing. So I'd pay attention to that and get the latest info.
For sure. Well, I think that'll pretty much wrap things up here. Would you guys have anything you'd like to add before we wrap up here?
I'd like to give a quick shout out to Grunt303 on Xbox, now Ridge Runner on PlayStation 4. I think he's our first dual console clan member. So
Nice.
He's in Destiny clan on both consoles now.
Yeah, hats off to him for going through the grind twice.
Yeah, that's crazy. Definitely wouldn't have to go.
But he can get Hawk Moon now, so...
Yeah, he's got that over you guys, right?
Yeah. Damn you guys, damn it.
I have the non-maxed out Hawk Moon, by which I mean I can't get it to the 331 because I got it pre-DLC drop. Lucky me, right?
You can upgrade it, right?
Yeah, but who wants to pay the money to upgrade it and then go through it again? Again, we're beating a dead horse.
Yep. All right, let's end it there.
OriginalGuardians.net is the website if you'd like to come check us out. We're on Facebook. Just find us Original Guardians. We're on Twitter at OGuardians. Google+, search plus Original Guardians. Links to what we discussed today are in the show notes. You can check those out if you so wish. Thank you for listening, and we will be back next week.
Yeah. All right. See you guys later.
All right,
Later,
thanks for
guys.
listening.
Adios.